Good. So we've raised our level of consciousness. Basically, for the new people here, the Siddur is the prayer book, the Jewish prayer book. And there are two types of prayer. There's informal prayer, which is just speaking to God in English from your heart, whenever you like, all the time, just whatever. Then there's formal prayer, which is from the prayer book, Shachrit, Mincha, and Mariv, which is basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner for your soul. And really the whole idea is it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to have a prayer book, because if prayer is meant to be an authentic personal communication with God, then how can you tell me what to say and when to say it, and the same thing every day? So it didn't make sense, but then we actually broke it down and said it makes a lot of sense, because these words are basically prophetic. The people who wrote the Siddur are on a very high level of consciousness, so they actually plugged it into what the neshama is wanting and yearning for. So they're basically like script writers. So that's why you have to have both, by the way, because you do need to have that personal prayer in English, just for yourself. But this is a supercharged, spiritually conscious communication with Hashem. And then we said the other major thing about it, which is different from informal prayer, is its community. It's all in the plural. Shema Koleinu. So you're not really praying for yourself, you're praying for the whole minyan, at least, the whole Jewish people. And then we said the morning prayers are split up into 4 sections. The first is just getting up and going to the bathroom and washing your hands and getting dressed, which is really physical. The second is Psuke de Zimra, which is Tehillim, Psalms, which is emotional. You're arousing your emotions. The next one is saying the Shema and the blessings of the Shema, which is intellectual. The Shema isn't actually a prayer, it's a declaration. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. And then we got the 4th level, which is spiritual, which is the Shemona Esrei. So we've really raised our level of consciousness: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And then you're standing face to face with Hashem. We've been going through all the blessings of the Shema. And we did the last one yesterday, or whenever we did the last one, which was Shalom. We said that Shalom is really the goal. It doesn't just mean peace and harmony, it means wholeness. To return to a state of wholeness. And that's when you're whole, then you have peace in general. Did you have a question?
Yeah. When you pray from the Siddur, does it need to be in Hebrew?
No. When you pray from the Siddur, until you can say it in Hebrew, you should say it in English, and that's wonderful, because if you say words that you don't understand, it's meaningless. However, there is immense spiritual power to the Hebrew words, the language. So you should set a goal to try and do it. But once again, remember our key to healthy growth. It's not some pressure comparing myself. Oh no, I'm not saying it in Hebrew. Other people are saying it in Hebrew better. Don't do that. Yeah. It's I'm looking forward to being able to say it better in Hebrew. So what I used to do was say the beginning of the prayer in the Shemona Esrei in English, and just the last bit, Baruch Atah Hashem, Chonen Ada, in Hebrew. And then I increased. And there's also the interlinear Siddur, which literally has the Hebrew and the English right underneath it. So I tell people that during the prayer service, you shouldn't be learning the prayers. You should be praying. Outside of the prayer service, then sit down and learn all the prayers. That makes sense. But Hashem would much rather you took 20 minutes of mincha, just breathing and meditating and speaking to Hashem, than trying to fumble through some words that you don't understand. God doesn't need that. It's not ulpan class. It's prayer. Yeah.
What if you could say it in Hebrew, but it's still not as meaningful to you as it is?
So do you know what I do? I often say it, not in the interlinear, but if I know it in Hebrew, I say it in Hebrew whilst reading the English. It's a nice way to do it sometimes. But Be'ezrat Hashem, at some point, the Hebrew will be meaningful. But until then. So basically, we finished the 19 brachas of the Shemona Esrei, which is amazing in itself, because it's called the 18 blessings, and there are 19 of them. And then what happens is, we're not done. We're not done. Then we have this amazing little thing that we say. At the end we say, Yihu l'ratzon imrei fi, v'hegion libi lefanecha Adonai sari v'gayli. May the words of I remember saying this in my Reform shul. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. That's what we said. I love my Reform shul. They gave me such a basis in the love of Judaism. Thank you, Elith, Northwestern Reform Synagogue in Finchley, in Temple Fortune. Thank you for my foundation as a Jew. the words of my mouth. So not just what I said, because the truth is, may my prayer be acceptable. Now remember, it's not very hard for your prayer to be acceptable because Hashem's not playing hard to get. The fact that you even turned up to be there, Hashem's like, I love you. You're such a mensch. So we're not begging, no, please, Hashem, accept me. We're not like that. We're just saying, please, the words that I said, that I read, please accept them as my own words. Accept them as if I made up those words. Vehegion libi. Thoughts of my heart, meditations of my heart means really more important my kavanah, my intention. That I want to connect. Even, by the way, even just the simple intention that I turned up is very important. I showed up. That shows that I'm trying to have a relationship with you. So we're saying it's very hard to have very strong kavanah, intention, and mindfulness all throughout the whole Shemona Esrei. It's difficult to do that. But we're saying to Hashem, I'm doing as well as I can. Please accept that. And Hashem's cool with that. The Kabbalistic masters point out that there are 10 yuds in this pasuk. And 10 is the 10 sfirot, and 10 times 10 is 100, which is the holographic image of the... Whatever, there's lots of Kabbalistic things going on, but we said this really at the beginning. Just be simple. It's nice to know that there are amazing Kabbalistic things happening. For me, I'm happy that there's that, but I don't need to get confused with them and try and be some big makubal. But I'm just happy that they're there. Yes?
How come first it says the expressions of my mouth, and it says the thoughts of my heart?
Because we're saying the external expression of my action, basically, my speech, and then even deeper, that my heart was in it, my heart was there. Don't just accept the words of my prayer, accept the feeling behind my prayer. That even if I messed up the words, or I got distracted with the words, no, just go deeper than the words, see beyond and see who I really am. Even if externally I'm not the biggest tzaddik, see that I really internally I want it, I have a desire. So at this point, we're still standing in front of Hashem. We're still standing in front of Hashem, but we finished Shemona Esrei, and it's a little bit, we've taken a kind of step back. And now we have an individual prayer. Remember I said the whole Shemona Esrei is in the plural. This was, Elokai natzor lishoni mira. Hashem, please guard my tongue from evil.
Is the only individual one?
In the Shemona Esrei. Yeah, no individual prayer in the Shemona Esrei, because Shemona Esrei, that's why you need to daven in a minyan. Because if you're davening, listen to our voice, but you're davening on your own, Hashem's like, where are they? Where are they? So Elokai natzor lishoni mira. Basically at this point we're about to go out into the workplace. And what's the most important thing? You might not know this, but the most important thing in your life is how you speak. Speech creates worlds. That's why you say Hashem created the world through speech. How you speak to other people. How you speak to yourself. How you speak. Your speech is creating your world. So just help me not be evil. Help my speech itself be representing my inner essence. Because we said you have 3 garments of the soul: thought, speech, and action. Thought is internal, action is external, speech is the bridge. It takes what's internal and brings it out. So make sure I'm speaking in a healthy way. Make me not be deceived. Basically all about speech. And the people who try to mess with me, let me not be triggered. This is amazing. You're about to go out into the workplace, and you're basically saying to Hashem, please help me not be reactive. That guy annoys me. I'm going to shout just because they shouted at me. I'm going to react to my boss is not nice. That guy beeped his horn at me. The people who are, it says, cursing me, let me be chilled. Let me basically have inner peace that I don't feel that I have to go and attack just because I was attacked. Someone who roasts me, I don't need to roast them back. So Rabbi Nachman says this, and others say it, that the biggest tshuva, the biggest return to your spiritual essence is to be embarrassed in public and not say anything. Why is that? Because basically it crushes your ego, but you want to crush your ego. It's a good thing to crush your ego. Now there's 2 levels of this. One of them is just don't say anything, don't shout back. But a deeper level is nafshitidam, that I'm quiet inside. I have an inner peace. So there's two levels. It's very, very good if you're feeling angry and resentful and bitter, that you hold your tongue. That's very important. It's a much deeper level of spiritual awareness when inside you're not bothered either. So most people, their sense of self and their mood is controlled by the external world. You can upset me very easily. I could say something very nice to you now and you'd feel good. I could say something horrible to you, you'd feel bad or angry, or you'd fight me. So most people have no control of their inner world. Complete victim to the external world, circumstances, and what people think of us and stuff. So we're saying, I'm about to go back out into the world. Help me not do that. Help me have equanimity. Means equanimity, hishtavut. It means inner peace, that I'm not affected by the external world. V'nafshi ka'afar l'kol tiyeh. And my soul should be like dust to everyone. I.e., just be humble. Just be humble. The earth is the lowest. People walk on the earth. Now, this isn't in a weak way. You shouldn't be a shmata. Don't get walked over. It just means that I'm not affected by you. And I'm very humble. Remember, the earth, everything comes from the earth. Everything grows out of the earth. All food. All food. That's actually interesting. Is this a true statement? All food originates in the earth. You've got fruit and vegetables and grain. Fruit, vegetables, and grain, they originate in the earth. Then you have animal products, but they eat grain or whatever. So there is no animal without grain. So eggs and chicken and fish and meat, that all really is rooted in the earth. Their food comes from the earth. Can we think of anything we eat that doesn't come from the earth? That's great.
Candy?
Sugar cane. But we don't eat candy. What are you talking about? But for those people who eat that, seaweed, the sea is part of the earth. But yes, I like that. It comes from seaweed. That's amazing. So the earth gives sustenance to everyone. Oh, beautiful. You know what this means? A humble person, a real tzaddik, gives sustenance to the whole of humanity. Everything.
Veggie burgers.
Yeah. Veggie burgers are made of vegetables. They come from the ground.
The whole thing is probably processed and created.
No, maybe we then processed it and messed it up. But what did you process? Things that came from the ground. Everything comes from the ground. That's awesome. So let me be like the earth, which is everyone treads on me, but everyone relies on me. I mean, that's a very high level of. Then we say, beautiful, Patach libi b'soirasecha. Open my heart in your Torah, b'toratecha. This says to your Torah. Open my heart. Very, very important that we have open hearts. We need open heart surgery in general, most people. Because many of us in the society we grew up in had to kind of become a bit tough. Especially in school, you get bullied in school. It's very hard. So it gets tough out there. Especially English men. This is why English men have no emotions, because someone bullied you when you're a kid, and then boys don't cry. So you've got to become very hard. You know what the one key to a successful childhood in England is? Football. If you're good at football, you're the man. That's it. Everything. Everything. You're the man. Thank God I was captain of the football team. But football's the key. But if you're not in the football team, that's very difficult. You have to be in like the Dungeons and Dragons club. Those are a different type of people. But we respect. Those people are more intelligent. The Dungeons and Dragons guys. Anyway. So most of us nowadays in our societies have pretty closed hearts. We're not really open because we're so vulnerable. Or you had a relationship and you got hurt and your heart was broken, so we closed down. We want to open our hearts. You want to be an open-hearted. An open heart really means being alive. This is why it's called open heart surgery. It's keeping you alive. So if you're closed off emotionally, you're not experiencing life. So open my heart, but what? To your Torah. We should love Torah. We should love learning Torah. And not only, Torah doesn't only mean Torah, by the way. It means values. It means guide books to life. Just open my heart to the foundation of creation. And then your mitzvahs, I'm running after them. So this is a major theme in Jewish thought. What are you running after in your life? What are you running? What are you rodef? I'm running after money and women and physical pleasures and honor, and that's what I'm running after that. I'm running after my career. I'm running after that. Or are you running after mitzvahs? That means, what do you want? What's your ratzon? And the word ratzon comes from the word run. Ratz means to run. So where are you running? So Hashem, if I was actually opened up my heart and plugged into what Torah is, I would want to do mitzvahs more than eat lunch. If you had a choice, mincha or lunch, that should be obvious. But it's not so much for it. I don't know, I can do both, Rabbi. Yeah, but what do you look forward to more? You look forward to mincha or lunch? Mincha or lunch? Yeah, better. So don't have lunch today.
Alright, they're moving mincha to 4.
Oh, really? Good.
What? Not today. Next one.
Anyway, so what you are running after for, what you are yearning for, what you really, really want, really defines you. Says a lot about you. So when you date someone, do you know what you want to know most? What do you run after? What's your values? What are you interested in? So Hashem, please make me run after mitzvahs. But not so I get reward. Now you messed up. Make me run after mitzvahs because I'm some little Pac-Man. I'm going to go, more reward in the world to come, more reward. You do not lose out. More reward in the world to come. That's not why we're doing mitzvahs. I'm running after mitzvahs because mitzvahs is relationship with Hashem in this world. Mitzvahs is food for my soul in this world. Mitzvahs empowers me in this world so I can help more people in this world. Anyone who thinks evil about me, make sure that their evil plans don't come to fruition. And mess up their thoughts. Once again, we said this in one of the earlier brachas, we're not saying kill them. Those people who think bad things about me, kill them, Hashem. We're not saying that. Really, make sure that it doesn't work. Because we don't want people to die, we want people to do tshuva. Aseh leman shemecha. Do all this, not even for me, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. Once again, when we say that, it's not coming from a place of low self-esteem. We feel very, very good about ourselves. Especially the ones who are davening Shachris, Mincha, and Ma'ariv, by the way. Because we're the ones in the team. If Hashem had to pick his team, well, I don't know. But in general, the ones who are doing what Hashem says that we should do are in a good position. Although I'm very careful with that because I know people who are not religious and they're wonderful, amazing, spiritual, healthy, kind people. And I know people who are religious and they're not very nice people. So we've got to have both. You've got to have the basic kindness, character traits, but then there's something we're meant to be doing in this world. Say leman shemecha, do it for your name. What's Hashem's name? Remember we said the difference between Hashem and Hashem's name? His name is dafka, not his essence. His name is how he reveals himself in the world. His palpable connection, the Shekhinah. Do it for that. Don't let people hurt me so that your name can be revealed in the world. And help me not speak. I don't want to be a chilul Hashem. Very, very important. Once you look like a religious Jew, you have to behave well. You have to behave well because the worst thing you can do is make Judaism and God look bad. So if you're choosing, if you're going out, put a cap on, tuck in your tzitzit, go for it. But no, check. But you know what I mean? I actually know someone who does that. He says, look, to be fair, I don't want to make Hashem look bad, so sometimes I put on a cap, tuck in my tzitzit, and do what I do. I was like, okay, there's something to that, by the way. I respect that anyway. Aseh leman yaminechas, do for your right hand. Your right hand, Hashem's right hand is his kindness and his strength. Just help us, make everything go well, just because you're kind, just because you're strong. Not because I deserve it, not because I'm great. Aseh leman kedushatecha. Do it for your holiness, for your sanctity. What is holiness? How do you define Kedusha? How do you define Kedusha? So people think it means separate, but it doesn't. We've given lots of classes about this. It does mean separate, but it means separate and completely immanently present at the same time. Because you say God is Kadosh, God is holy. God's not separate, God's immanently present. So what it means to be holy is to be involved in the world, but with a higher consciousness. You're not controlled by the world, you're not brought down by the world, you're not chasing the world, but you can have physical pleasures, and you can do all of these things, but you're doing it for a spiritual purpose. למען יחלצון ידידיך הושיינו ימינך ועננו. So this really means in order that yechaltzun, here it says released, yedidecha, that your beloved ones should be released. Have you ever thought what that means? What it really means is that the Jewish people should be free. We're not slaves to our own desires. We're not slaves to the nations of the world. We're not slaves to what people think about us. We're not slaves to anyone. If we can keep our speech good, and if you can make sure people don't offend us, and if you can make sure that we open up our hearts, if we can do all of this, then we're free people. Now, we spoke about this often. Most people are complete slaves. This is why Judaism is obsessed with Egypt. We were slaves in Egypt. We've got a whole festival about Egypt. And we mention Egypt all the time. Why? Because we're still in Egypt. We're in a slavery to financial pressures and society pressures and physical cravings. But once we can open up our heart to the Torah and run after mitzvahs, then we're not a slave anymore. And so at this point, some people, firstly they say a verse with their name. Do you do this? I actually haven't done it for a while. But my daughter reminded me the other day. Everyone has a name, and there's a verse that begins with the first letter of your name and ends with the last letter of your name. It's at the back of the Siddur, you can look it up. And many people say that verse because some people say when the soul leaves the body, Hashem's going to say, what's your name? And that really means, how did you show up in the world? And if you were too connected to your Yetzer Hara, you'll forget your name. You'll forget what you were meant to be doing in the world. So this pasuk will remind you of your name. All different Kabbalistic things. It's also said that you can ask for your personal things in this. But once again, I think there are better times. And then it says, again, we have a second Yehir Ratzon. And then, very important, 3 steps back. So we said at the beginning of Shmoneh Esrei, you're taking 3 steps forward. And that means you're coming into God's presence. You're raising your level of consciousness, and I'm now standing in God's presence. The 3 steps back is also very important. And there are halachas to this. You're not meant to take big ones. You see some people, they're meant to be very, very small. Very small. Even like just to the back of your heel. Very small. Why? And slow. Small and slow. To say, I don't want to get out of here. Once you take big steps back, you're like, okay, I'm done. It's like, I actually, when you're leaving the presence of the king, or even at the kotel, we walk backwards. So say, okay, it's now time to come out, and then we stand for a little bit. You stand. And then some people then take 3 steps forward again. Bam, finished. The 3 steps back show you very much how much you were invested in the tefillah. It's just like how you break a fast. We're about to fast. Tisha B'Av, we're going to fast. How do you break the fast? You break it like an animal. You just, get out, you're pushing people out the way. Give me my raglach. So how you break the fast actually says a lot about how you fasted and who you are. So too, how you step out of Shmoneh Esrei, you should step out of Shmoneh Esrei a little bit reluctantly. It's like saying, I don't want to leave God's presence now. So I'm stepping out a little bit reluctantly, but I have to get back into the world. Slow, small steps backwards. Yes?
What's the significance of when you step into it, you start with the right foot, and when you step back, you step with the left foot?
Exactly. You step in with your right foot because that's your strong foot, and you're climbing the mountain, you're ready. Step back with your weaker foot as a sign of, I'm not stepping out with my strong foot because I want to get out of here. Stepping back with my weak foot because I don't want to get out of here, but I have to.
Gevurah Chesed, anything like that?
Definitely some Gevurah Chesed stuff going on there. Chesed is a flow, is giving. So I'm flowing towards Hashem. Gevurah is restraint. I'm pulling myself back. Okay, so now we've gone through the whole Siddur from Modeh Ani to the end of Shmoneh Esrei. Baruch Hashem. So that's a very good start. We can learn what's going on. Then there's basically the warm down. You have to, I don't know if anyone does sport here, but you've got to warm up. You warm up, and then you play, and then you've got to warm down. So then the rest of the morning service is the warm down. Maybe we'll do the whole warm down in one class. Yeah?
What about the paragraph after you say like,
Oh, and when you do the bowing, so you're going to bow your 3 times. Once again, tapping back into Shalom. Amen. And then we're going to do all the warm down in the next class.
Oh, that's just not part of the.
Not part of Shemona Esrei anymore. Okay, yeah.